Thank you for tuning into WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. You're listening to the Read It Right radio show, and I'm your host, Lady T. I'm a children's author, TEDx international speaker, engineer, STEMpreneur, publishing consultant, and radio host. Today's topic is mentorship and representation in STEM. Women's organizations making a difference. Our show sponsors for the show today is Inspired Authors Publishing, making a lasting impact in your business and industry with the unique, beautifully illustrated children's books, entertaining color and activity books, novels, and journals. Check out www.publishtherightbook.com to check out Inspired Authors Publishing. Today, we are discussing mentorship and representation in STEM, women's organizations making a difference. Welcome to our show today, where we'll be discussing the importance of mentorship and representation for girls and young women in STEM, and the work that women's organizations are doing to close the gender gap in STEM. And I know I've been floating STEM around, but just in case you don't know what it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Well, first up, I want to definitely share one of the resources that I've used when it comes to mentoring and being a role model. And one of the organizations is called Fab Films, and they're at fabfilms.org. And some of the statistics when we're talking about the mentorship and representation is what they say on their page is women continue to be underrepresented in STEM fields at the college and workforce level. The greatest gender disparities across the STEM workforce occur in the fields of computer science, engineering, and physics science. The intersection of gender, race, and ethnicity produce compounding barriers to STEM for women of color. While Black, Latino, and Indigenous women make up approximately 17% of the U.S. population, they earn 14% of the bachelor's degrees in STEM fields and represent less than 10% of the STEM workforce. Engagement with diverse and approachable role models, women in STEM who see their work as rewarding, relevant, and enjoyable can shift girls' perspectives about who belongs in STEM, increase their identification with STEM, and their awareness of and interest in STEM careers. Now, using the extensive network of National Girls Collaborative Project, Fab Films provides a directory of accessible women, STEM professionals for young women, and girls serving STEM organizations. These Fab Films exemplify the pathway to STEM and are available to interact with youth and educators through STEM activities, speakers, engagements, field trips, and more. So definitely check out fabfilms.org, and it's spelled FABFEMS.org. I am one of the role models that's represented, especially as an engineer. And like I stated, it's a great opportunity to match up your kid, your girl, with a role model. And it also provides various resources that you can take part in through Fab Films. Many of the resources can be, as stated, being able to connect with the role model, different activities that the child can do. But it's so many different things that they can get tied to, definitely with STEM and getting the girls engaged. And so check out fabfilms.org, and you'll be able to get your child exposed to a directory of international database of women in science, technology, engineering, math professionals who are aspiring young women and girls in STEM. When we come back, we will continue our discussion with membership opportunities when it comes to mentorships and representation in STEM. Women's organizations making a difference. You're listening to Read It Right radio show, and I'm your host, Lady T. You're tuned into WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. We'll be right back after the break.
There's a story waiting for you to write it. There's a treasure waiting for you to find it. There's a picture waiting for you to paint it. There's a dollar waiting for you to make it. So what you waiting on? Who you waiting for? You don't take a chance, you'll never know what's in store. Just do you. Somebody's got to be a star. Just do you. Somebody's got to raise the bar. Just do you. Somebody's got to change the game. Just do you today.
Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through free TuneIn Radio app. You're listening to Read It Right Radio Show, and I'm your host, Lady T. Now, if you're just tuning in, we're discussing mentorship and representation in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, women's organizations making a difference. Make sure to check out my free ebook, 10 STEM Scholarships and Organizations ebook at www.stemistheway.com. Now, I'm just giving you a snippet of some of the women organizations or way we can get organizations for girls to get into STEM. But this ebook, the free ebook, 10 STEM Scholarships and Organizations ebook, will get you closer to scholarships tied to it as well as organizations. So definitely check it out, www.stemistheway.com. So we're discussing the importance of mentorship in STEM for girls and young women, highlighting the benefits of mentorship for both the mentor and the mentee, as well as we're talking about breaking stereotypes, promoting representation in STEM. We want to be able to promote this definitely for more girls and underrepresented minorities to be able to represent, especially as young women in STEM. We want to make sure that we highlight the impact of breaking down stereotypes and promoting diverse representation in STEM fields. And there are various women organizations that we can discuss that are making an impact and making an impact with representation in STEM and able to share their stories. Now, I want to share this segment that is available for you to check out, which is from Ecology Project International, and is sharing how to engage more girls in STEM. Listen up.
Picture this: a scientist, an IT person, an engineer, a mathematician. Chances are, like most people, you pictured mostly men in each of these roles. That's because even though women make up 50% of the population, they still only represent about 30% of the STEM workforce. And minority women comprise fewer than 1 in 10 employed scientists and engineers. It's difficult to imagine something you don't even know is possible. Research has shown that by age 15, girls begin to lose confidence in STEM subjects, unlike their male peers. By age 16, only 25% of girls asked to draw a scientist will picture a female. This loss of confidence isn't inherent. It's a direct result of the unique issues women face when pursuing STEM education and careers, including a lack of recruitment by higher education and employers, stereotypes and implicit bias, and a fixed mindset. The good news is that, together, we can help eliminate these obstacles. At Ecology Project International, we're focusing on 5 clear actions to help sustain girls' interest in STEM, and we hope you'll join us. Number 1, look for and celebrate female role models. Nearly half of all girls interested in STEM don't know a woman in a STEM career. So it's up to all of us to share stories and talk about the women in STEM we know. Need a little help to get started? Check out the links below to learn about women like Katherine Johnson, Sylvia Earle, and Rosalind Franklin. Number 2, provide practical experiences. 74% of teen girls say they're interested in STEM, yet 4 in 10 say they don't get enough hands-on practical experience. Let's get creative at home and in the classroom. Take students to see STEM in action, like a lab or a field station. Engage them in hands-on STEM activities, or let them shadow a STEM job for a day. Number 3, be an active mentor. According to a recent study, when educators talk to girls about STEM fields and actively encourage them, girls become more interested in these subjects. Number 4, show the real-life connection. Research suggests that one reason women may choose non-STEM careers is that they place a higher value on work that serves the greater good. Consider taking students to a field station to help collect data that is influencing endangered species policy, or encourage them to use technology to help solve a local issue that they care about. When you can connect a STEM subject to real-life application, it's easy to see how these fields create positive change in the world. Number 5, help foster confidence in STEM subjects. Girls tend towards a fixed mindset with STEM subjects. It's up to each of us to teach girls that struggle is an important part of learning. With a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset, girls are more likely to persevere in the face of intellectual challenges, like their male counterparts do. Science, conservation, and the future of our planet can only be positively affected by engaging a diverse range of people. And we hope you'll join us in celebrating and engaging more girls in STEM.
Wow. So hopefully you've able to know, just a little bit of statistics and some ways we can try to capture that barriers when it comes to trying to get our girls into STEM. Now, I'm getting ready to share with you just a little bit of 2 organizations that I feel are great from a coding standpoint, especially for our underrepresented Black girls. And so I'm going to first start out with InTech Camp for Girls. And I actually know the individual who's the founder of it, which is Caleb Braswell, Dr. Caleb Braswell, who's going to share just a clip of what InTech Camp for Girls is about, and then I'll come back. Listen up.
I started InTech because there aren't a lot of girls in the technology industry. The importance of InTech is to be able to show girls like, hey, you can do it too, and to catch them early. And the way that we're doing that is just inspiring as many girls as possible to say, hey, here's how you can be a technologist. This is how you can be a woman in tech. And, showing them different examples of careers as well as women in tech, so that by the time they get into high school, by the time they get into college, they'll know that they can do it. And they won't be bothered by the statistics, but they'll be able to change the statistics and, be empowered to do so.
When I think of somebody that has to do with technology, the first person that comes to mind is usually a male. I had to do a presentation on Steve Jobs, I think, or somebody in my class had to do him. But when we did those engineering things, it wasn't many women that we mentioned.
There's not a lot of women in technology. There's definitely not a lot of minority women in technology. And InTech exposes these kids to minority women who are doing well in technology, and I think that's very important.
It's hard to be what you can't see. And it's even better if you have someone who looks like you doing it. So I think it's really important that girls and women in other communities are able to see people who look like them doing amazing things.
When I first came, I didn't know how to code at all. Now I know a little bit, and I'm probably gonna expand later on. It's better to learn about technology while you're younger, because as you grow up, you'll learn what you want to do. Women should try to explore different things instead of things that people think that mostly women do. We should go outside of our comfort zones.
It's something you don't have everywhere. The InTech camps give girls the opportunity to meet other girls who are trying to figure out their way in technology, but also to meet other women who are in the roles that they can see themselves in. They no longer have to imagine what it looks like. They have an example.
So make sure you check out intechcamp.co. And this is, like I said, with Kalia Braswell, who's the founder, CEO of it, who's now got this going in all different locations. And their mission is to inform, inspire girls to innovate in the technology industry. Next up is Black Girls Code. I want to give you a little bit about them. Listen up.
Our Black Girls Code. We are a safe space for Black girls to dream, create, and inspire each other. We teach girls the skills to code their own futures and give them the courage to build their own lanes. We see their genius. We support their vision. and we let them write their own scripts and tell their own stories. We are Black Girls Code. Our programs build confidence. Here, Black girls embrace technology as creators, thinkers, influencers, and leaders. Our mini chapters, events, camps, hackathons, and alumni support are changing the face of tech. Through the work of our dedicated staff and volunteers, our generous partners and friends, fierce young girls become future tech bosses. We are Black Girls Code. The opportunity gap for women and girls of color is closing, and we're just getting started.
All right, so just in case you were looking for them, WEAREBGC.org. We are BGC.org. After the break, we'll continue our discussion on mentorship and representation in STEM, women organizations making a difference. You're tuned into WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back.
Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls, best thing in the world. Never trade you for anybody else. And brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls, the best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Singing.
She says she really grew up poor like me. Don't believe in nothing but the Almighty. Just a little jeans and a pure whitey. She never dream forever be nobody wifey. Yeah. She wanna mean a pretty but your heart is a miss. Play you like a villain cause she caught in a way. Tonight I am walking away. 9 to 5 mind and a grind. Yeah. Tonight I might fall in love, depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fights it by falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Your back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
Pose like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She need an Oscar for that pretty dark skin. Pretty like Lupita when the camera's closing. Drip broke the levee when my Kelly's rolling. I think tonight she might braid her braids. Melanin too dark to throw her shade. She minds her business and winds her waist. Go like 24K. Okay.
Tonight I might fall in love, depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fighting but falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Your back against the world. I never tried you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing in the world. I never tried you for anybody else.
Oh, have you looked in the mirror lately? Wish you could trade eyes with me. Cause there's complexities in complexion, but your skin is glow like diamonds. Dig me like the earth, you be giving birth to everything alive, baby, know your worth. I love everything about you, from your nappy curls to every single curve, your body natural. Same skin that was broken, be the same skin taking over. Most things out of focus view, but when you're in the room, they notice you. Cause you're beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. Gon' fall in love with you in all of your glory. Your skin is not only dark, it shines and it tells your story. Keep dancing, they can't control you. They watch and they all adore you. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told you.
Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Your back against the world.
Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through free TuneIn Radio app. You are listening to Read It Right Radio Show, and I'm your host, Lady T. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing mentorship and representation in STEM, women's organizations making a difference. Make sure to check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Tiffany Teachy for more STEM resources and tips. And once again, it's at Tiffany with an I, Teachy. We've been discussing mentorship and representation in STEM, women organizations making a difference. And as I've shared so far, you have the Fab Films, you have Intech Camp for Girls, you have Black Girls Codes. And so as we talk about this, we are discussing challenges that still exist in closing the gender gap in STEM, such as systemic barriers, societal biases, and how these women organizations can make a difference and be able to promote access to STEM education and career development opportunities. I want to share with you SWE Next for Future Engineers. And SWE is Society of Women Engineers. I've been a part of SWE. I've been a part of this organization, which is helping not only from girls to women and just allowing them to empower themselves. So check them out, SWE Next for Future Engineers. And here you go.
What is SWE Next? SWE Next is a free program for students to the age of 18 to empower them to pursue careers in engineering and technology. SWE Next helps students gain leadership skills and self-confidence. What does SWE Next offer? SWE Next offers programs and resources, mentorships, and access to real-life engineers. Apply for one of SWE's many available scholarships valued at $1.2 million to help fund your education. Join a SWE Next Club to become part of the SWE community that supports students in the next chapter of their lives. As the host of Invent It, Build It for SWE Next, I often get asked why I joined the program as an ambassador. The truth is, I grew up in a small rural town in the South where there weren't engineers in a time when television only had male engineers to be shown. There was no line of sight or access to women in engineering fields to inspire me or guide me. SWE Next gives young women that access to real-life engineers who provide knowledge and resources for their future. By joining SWE Next, girls gain the opportunity to build their confidence, network with peers and women with similar interests, and connect with SWE members from all over the world. SWE Next is free to join. Get started today at swenext.swe.org.
There you have it. There's an example of an organization that's allowing us to be able to encourage our girls to get into STEM. Now, National Girls Collaborative Project is another way to get our girls established into STEM and be able to be exposed. Hear from Adrienne Hill, pop mentor, who speaks on a panel from it of her experience as far as what importance of mentoring is. Check it out.
Of girls in science to be there. So with my background in physics and biomedical engineering, that is where I really want to make sure that, we have a strong presence, both as a female as well as an African American. So my shoulders are just here to stay strong so that everyone else, I can hold them up. Absolutely. I think now that the drive has changed to outreach with females in STEM, I think us as the middle generation, I'm a millennial at that best, is to bring up the people underneath us. I always say that I'm just part of this pyramid. I'm not at the top of the pyramid and I'm not at the bottom, but I'm definitely in the middle to make sure that my shoulders are strong enough for all the next generation of girls in science to be there. So with my background in physics and biomedical engineering, that is where I really want to make sure that, we have a strong presence, both as a female as well as an African American. So my shoulders are just here to stay strong so that everyone else, I can hold them up.
All right, so this is just a little bit of a taste of encouragement. Let me give you one more tidbit from some African American women in STEM. Listen up.
My advice to girls who are thinking about getting into STEM fields is to do it. Run towards your passion and don't look back.
You can do anything that you want. You can solve big social problems using these methods that you learn in STEM.
Do not allow challenges and issues that come about to defeat you.
I try to look at failure as a learning experience.
I always try to have someone that I look up to or someone that can help me with decisions that I'm going through.
Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
You need to be able to have people who come from different perspectives, and then you can attack a problem in a different way.
Hey! I am a triple threat. That's what I like to call myself. I'm young, I'm black, and I'm female.
Woo!
Sometimes I walk in a room and not everybody can relate to me. And I love being able to break down those walls to show them I'm technical, I know what I'm talking about, and we can work together to solve this problem.
All right, so that was from Mission Unstoppable, and just shared a little bit of different input from various African-American women in STEM. Well, hopefully you've been able to take along opportunities to learn more about mentorship and representation in STEM in these various women organizations that's making a difference. Join us next week as we continue our discussion on the importance of STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Continue to tune in every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please remember to connect with me by going to WDRBmedia.com, click on the radio shows tab, and go to Read It Right Radio Show page. Also, if you want to be a guest on my show or want free advertising, contact me and go to www.readitrightshow.com. You've been listening to Read It Right Radio Show, and I'm your host, Lady T, on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, for double the information and inspiration. Until next week, continue to be blessed. Read it right, because STEM representation matters. Let's shape our future generation of STEM leaders.
Putting it on my chain, wearing it round my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, grooving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my stroll.